It's too
Morning in
quiet.
Fukushima. The control room hums steady, human, alive. A man adjusts his headset, another laughs softly. It felt like any other Friday. A pencil rolls across the desk, stops near the edge. No one sees it. We were too busy keeping the lights on for a million homes. Someone's coffee trembles. Tiny ripples spread across the surface. The sound of air vents deepens, almost like the building inhaled. Did you feel that? Tanaka asks. I smile, half asleep. Probably a truck, but the ground answers again, lower this time. The radio plays a jazz tune, then breaks mid-note. A hum replaces the music, thick and cold. We all look up. The lights flicker twice. One bulb dies, the room size. For a second, silence feels louder than sound. I glance at the family photo, taped beside my monitor. My son's smile seems smaller under the fluorescent glow. A needle on the seismograph twitches. One red line dances, unsure of itself, like the earth trying to speak. I step closer to the window. The ocean beyond the wall looks impossibly calm. Too calm. That's when the Unease began to breathe. The light steadied again, and so did we. Someone joked about the old wiring. Laughter returned, awkward but real. The hum of machines filled the silence we didn't understand. Tanaka poured new coffee. The smell of burnt beans mixed with metal and steam. Routine, the rhythm that made us feel safe. I checked Reactor 3's cooling levels, like I'd done 1,000 times. Every number green. Every sound familiar. Nothing ever changed here. On the wall, a calendar still showed February. No one cared to flip it. Outside, a slow wind brushed against the concrete walls. My headset crackled. Coastline pressure normal. The ocean always stayed predictable, or so we believed. I remember the way the monitors glowed, small rectangles of order in a world we thought we controlled. Someone turned up the radio. A weather report. Calm skies over Sendai. Nothing unusual, the voice said. Beside me, Sato scribbled in his logbook. His handwriting neat, precise. He smiled when I caught him humming under his breath. Steam hissed from a valve, soft like exhaling lungs. It sounded alive, like the station itself was breathing with us through the narrow window. The Pacific shimmered faint blue.
It's something else.
Waves rolled in lazy patterns, steady as heartbeat. I thought of my wife then, her voice, the way she said, "Come home early tonight." I promised I would. The minute hand ticked forward. Another shift ending soon. Another normal day surviving the invisible weight of power. But normal has a sound, and I remember the moment it vanished. The hum changed pitch. Just slightly. Enough for my chest to tighten without knowing why. The hum shifted again, lower, heavier. I froze mid-sentence. It was the kind of sound that makes your ribs vibrate before your ears do. A wrench rolled off the table, hit the floor, and didn't stop. It kept trembling in place, like the ground beneath was breathing. Tanaka looked up. His smile was gone. The monitors flickered, one blinked red, then green again, confused. Probably a minor quake, someone said. But no one laughed this time. Even the radio static sounded nervous. The floor swayed. Papers lifted off the desk. Every loose bolt in the room began to rattle, a quiet warning. I reached for the console, my hand missed. The motion was gentle, almost kind, but endless. It wouldn't stop. Check the seismograph, a voice called. The needle jumped, then vanished off the scale. The line turned into panic ink, lights dimmed, then flared white. A low metallic groan rose from under us, like steel remembering it was once liquid. Alarms chirped once, then silence again. False alert. Or maybe the system just didn't know how to name what was happening. I caught Sato's eyes. He mouthed something I couldn't hear. The sound of our own breathing filled the room. One of the overhead lights cracked. Tiny glass dust drifted down, glittering in the half-dark like snow. Power surge, someone muttered. But the word surge didn't fit. This was something older, slower, deeper. I glanced at the clock. The second hand jerked, hesitated, and stopped. Every sound felt like a heartbeat too loud. Then, from the coastal feed, a frame of ocean appeared, the sea pulling back, vanishing into the horizon. Voice whisper, the sea was gone. The feed froze, the ocean no longer there. Just empty seabed, glinting under a gray sky. For one heartbeat, we didn't understand. That's impossible, someone whispered. Then came the sound, not loud, but deep, like the earth exhaling centuries. Birds lifted off the coast in frantic swirls. Every sensor screamed. The first tremor hit like a shove from below. Monitors went black. Alarms howled. The air turned hot, filled with dust and static. My ears rang with the sound of breaking glass. "Seal the valves," Tanaka shouted. His voice vanished beneath the roar. The building itself began to breathe in gasps, the floor tilted. Coffee poured off the table. A clipboard hit the wall and split like paper in wind. Someone fell. Another grabbed his arm. Our boots slid in water that shouldn't have been there yet. The emergency lights snapped on, red haze pulsing like a heartbeat. Shadows bent and steam burst from a pipe. It hissed like anger, blinding the air. My lungs burned when I tried to speak. "Power offline," someone yelled. The sound cut short. A cable whipped across the room, sparking blue. I crawled under the console. The concrete groaned above. Each vibration felt alive, searching for us. Outside, a rumble like thunder, but lower, heavier, endless. It was the ocean returning. We didn't see it. We heard it, the sound of everything familiar breaking at once. Water slammed the outer walls. A hollow boom, then 100 smaller ones. The room went dark, air ripped away. My body lifted, then hit the floor. I remember the taste of metal, salt, and fear. "Get higher!" someone screamed, but there was nowhere to go. The stairwell filled faster than thought. Flashlight beams cut through the gray flood. Faces blurred, eyes wide, silent now. The panic had no space for words. A loud crack, the generator split open. Sparks fell like rain, turning steam into blue fire. I saw a photo float past, Tanaka's family. For a second, everything slowed. That's when fear became grief. An explosion above us, white flash, sound gone. The silence hit harder than the blast. My breath came back in pieces. The lights were gone. Only the red emergency sign flickered underwater. I tried the intercom, static screamed back. Somewhere, someone was praying. I could only listen. Then darkness swallowed the sound. And the station, the whole world, went still. When I opened my eyes, everything was gray. Dust hung in the air like slow rain. For a moment, I thought I'd gone deaf. The hum was gone. No alarms, no voices. Only dripping water, steady, cruel, counting seconds that no longer mattered. My headset crackled once, then died. The red sign flickered under the water, its glow pulsing like a tired heart. Sato sat beside me soaked, staring at nothing. His lips moved without sound. I didn't ask what name he was calling. I tried to stand, my knees refused. The floor felt heavier, as if gravity itself had given up. Steam drifted through the doorway. It smelled of iron and salt, the scent of machines dying slow. A flashlight beam cut across the room, trembling. Every droplet in its path looked like falling glass. "Is anyone alive?" someone asked. The voice came from nowhere, too small for a space that used to echo. Outside, the sea had returned, flat, endless, indifferent. It lay there as if nothing had ever happened. I pressed the radio button again. Static. Then a faint breath. Maybe mine. Maybe the ocean's. My watch had stopped at 2:46. The glass was cracked, but the time stayed perfect, frozen at the moment the world bent. I remember whispering, "We did our best." The words tasted like rust. No one answered. Water reached my chair, cold around my legs. It moved with purpose, quiet as regret. In that silence, every drop sounded human. Every echo carried a name. The next morning, the sky was pale silver. Smoke still rose from the coast, curling like breath from a sleeping giant. Rescue helicopters hovered above fields now made of mud and memory. I watched from the hill, my uniform stiff with salt. The station was gone, only the metal spine of what used to be power. The ocean had rewritten the map. They found Tanaka's logbook 3 days later. Every entry stopped at the same minute mine did. I remember turning a page that was still wet, his handwriting smudged into silence. The ink looked like a heartbeat fading out. Reporters asked how it happened. I told them the systems worked, until they didn't.
The systems worked.
But that wasn't the truth that mattered. The truth was smaller. The way he smiled when the coffee burned. The way we believed walls could hold back oceans.
Memories.
We built a world that obeyed buttons and screens, and forgot that nature has none. In training, they taught us how to restart a reactor, not how to restart a heart. I kept his photo. It dried in the sun, edges curled, faces blurred, yet it still felt alive. At night, I hear the sea again, not as a threat, but as a memory calling back what it took. Sometimes I dream the control room lights up again, every monitor humming, everyone laughing, nothing broken. Then the dream fades, leaving only one sound, the slow echo of dripping water, patient as forgiveness. We rebuilt, of course. Humans always do. But some things should never be fixed, only remembered. Because it wasn't the ocean that failed us. It was our faith in being untouchable. Now, every time I stand near the shore, I listen for that silence. It still speaks. It says, don't forget the quiet between warnings. It wasn't the sea that took them. It was silence, the kind that comes after every mistake we never learn from.